years now. Over that time, we've obviously seen the shift in market changes from people moving from fixed line services across to hosted services. We very much are expertise in covering that and identifying customers' real requirements instead of just giving them the fixed normal solutions. So we offer a large range of a portfolio of services. And in doing so, enables customers to have more of a cost-effective solution, but also more of a feature-rich solution as well. So, yeah, we're really here to ensure that customers have the flexible solutions, and definitely in light of current times, as well as making sure that they've got the solutions that are beneficial to home working. So, yeah, thanks, Chris, for having us on the call today.
Yeah, thanks, James. And Zoe, do you mind just introducing yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Zoe. I'm one of the internal account managers over here, and I tend to look after the partners and also the customer base side of things, alongside James as well. So we work together one another along with the partners to ensure that customers get as much of a best experience as possible when they have their services with us.
Okay, so I can certainly vouch for you, for that straight away. The relationship that we've got is good, it's sound, and I'm really happy that I made the decision to work with you guys. So let's get on with the nitty-gritty then, shall we? Let's answer those awful questions, and don't feel like you're in the torture chamber today, because you're not. It's literally just, these are just questions I get asked all the time from customers, and I thought, you know what, let's just get it on a video so people can see it for themselves when they want to. So one question I get asked a lot is that customers in a rural location, their broadband is really slow because they're miles away from the exchange. What options have they got these days to get themselves out of trouble?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Where Openreach have really invested their money in is more dense areas where there's higher population, and over the past couple of years there's been large investments from the government in rural gigabit voucher schemes to really try and help drive the spread to these rural areas. In doing so, it's always making sure it's a cost-effective way of looking at options. So these days we can look at getting bonded services, where you compel two broadband services through one router to double up the speed. We can look at 4G options. Obviously, unlimited data plans are now available. You can employ fixed IPs onto that to ensure that the IT services run efficiently. But also, Ethernet lease lines are a big push as well. Having a fixed fibre circuit to your own location. There's a 99% coverage across the UK to actually enable that. So when people do look at rural options, there is obviously a big push as well for individual fibre companies that are rolling out these types of solutions now, being microwave broadband. So it's for a company like ours, we've had companies from all the way from the very top of Scotland down to Cornwall that have had these requirements. So we're very well capable of sourcing them and making sure that you're choosing the right cost as well as the right solution. Sounds
brilliant. So did you say that there's actually some kind of voucher scheme there? There's some kind of funding available for
the government people? Yeah, definitely. I mean, the government last year, or over the past couple of years, ran a gigabit voucher scheme. Unfortunately, all the money is now gone from that. But the government are fully aware that the UK is a bit further behind from other countries, and that's obviously led to us putting a lot of money in. So there were grants available up to £3,000 really to give you access to helping with installing or reducing your rentals. So I'm sure the government will do something like that again to kind of get everyone connected in these types of locations. But likewise, there is the rural gigabit voucher scheme still available to certain locations. So if you are based in a rural area, then obviously get in touch with Chris after this and have a look at those options to see if you can apply for it.
All right, that sounds really good. Okay, yeah, it sounds really positive. So another question I get asked a lot is, if I'm working from home, can I still have business broadband? And if I do that, well, what are the benefits in doing it?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a more common question that appears now with people working from home. The difference between business broadband and residential broadband is more to do with the level of service and the routers you get. Your standard home router that you might have from Sky or BT or Virgin really isn't built to handle the type of traffic that we use in our day-to-day offices. So, the real perk is is actually having a better router and having a better care service that enables you to connect into your office. So in short answer, yes, you can have a business broadband, you pay for a business broadband, but you also get the level of service and control over it. A Sky router, would struggle to handle your kids streaming Netflix and you trying to run a webinar. Where if you had a better router that can handle that type of throughput and information going through it, then obviously you're never going to face the issue.
So would a good tip be there, if my broadband provider allows it, if I have a business grade router on a residential broadband, would I still be doing a better job than what I'm doing now?
Yeah, that's right. A lot of the residential broadband providers, they don't tend to actually allow you to use your own router without paying for a different type of service. So you can't take a standard broadband service and plug your own router in, as it needs the right broadband details inside your router to work efficiently. So you can work with them to do that. We can obviously point you towards which routers work best if you need Wi-Fi or if you have cabling set up in your house. But it is possible to use, residential broadband, but with a business router.
And are you? Do you think maybe we could build some packages that would kind of work well for these people working from home? So could we do like a combination of broadband and phone kind of put together so that people are getting good value?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a lot of people that we've spoken to over the past couple of months have given broadband services to their employees to access their computer files properly through the company. One of the major things about all of the changes that have happened is fraud, and cybersecurity. People have had to let down their firewalls from the security levels in order for them to access home level routers, and that does make them available to cyber cyber attacks. So
I've only been reading just in the last few days how cybercrime has gone up 400% since March.
Yeah, it's incredible, and that's why we have the packages now to really help customers avoid that issue, and not have themselves at risk whilst enabling their staff to work from home.
Okay, cool. So should we pick on Zoe this time? Is that fair? So Zoe, what's new? What's new in the telecom sector? What's happening right now? What's kind of new and fresh, would you say, that we need to kind of be aware of?
So a lot of areas, as we touched on broadband earlier, are in the sort of midst of being installed with either fibre or GFAR. So with the fibre side, we've got products such as fibre to the premises that will be available in most areas, leading from Openreach, and we'll always have our availability checkers to check and see if those services will be available in a certain customer's area, along with GFAST as well, which will provide really great significant broadband speeds to either their homes or their offices. And we also have a wide range of home working solutions, from mobile and desktop soft phones to also mobile conference calling as well, so that you'll be able to work anywhere from either your laptop or your mobile, allowing home working and remote working a lot more flexible as we go through this time.
So what typical speeds are people now getting on fibre to the premises typically?
So these can sort of range from either 80/20, which is our usual fibre to the cabinet sort of speed, which also works alongside fibre to the premises as well. And that can range from about 330 megabits to 50 upload and download, and that can range all the way up to a gigabit as well. So we can get that on fibre to the premises depending on the area.
Okay, well, roll on then, because I've only got about 40 coming into the house right now. But but then again, there's only two of us. You'd think that would be enough, wouldn't you? Really?
Yeah,
Speed isn't always everything, is it? It's quality. I've always thought,
exactly.
You can have all the bandwidth in the world, but it's got to be reliable and stable and everything else. So
Absolutely. Yeah, one thing that we do pride ourselves on over here, and I'm sure you'll speak the same for yourself as well, Chris, with your services over at Bridge Cloud, is that we always do provide that premium sort of product as well with our services.
Yeah, absolutely. It's quality rather than quantity every time. There's a lot of businesses out there that work in the stack it high, sell it low type model. I work in completely opposite. Stack it low, sell it high, and working. But selling really good quality product for that. Obviously, it's not about overcharging. It's making sure people get really good value for money.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. So let's go with question number 4 then. So another one I get asked a lot is now, my staff are now working from home. which obviously is a given. But the phone system's sitting in the office, and that means they can't, they can't take it with them. They can't plug the phone at home because the PBX is in the office, so to speak, or the telephone box is in the office. What can we do?
So one thing that we can provide them with is our soft phone enablers, which actually work on systems such as Horizon. And what we can do is we can set up a mobile app soft phone on their work mobiles. So I've got mine on here. Or we can also set it up on their desktop, which I use frequently when I'm working from home myself, or both. You can have a product called Collaborate, which allows you to work anywhere amongst your mobile or desktop, and it also allows you to instant message between the team as well, or set up little conference calls if you're looking to, I guess, have a conference call in the team. It's a really good sort of product that we've gotten a lot of great feedback on, where we've had customers call in, especially during this time, looking for solutions where they've left their handset in the office and they're looking for something really fast, really reliable that we can set up instantly for that customer, and they can roll those out amongst all the users as well, and add and remove as they please.
So does that mean I could actually be taking calls on my 0121 number if I'm a 4G, I'm a mobile at the office? Cool. Excellent.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow. And it means also I can sit in anywhere in the world then with my internet, basically. So I could be sitting in the Bahamas on a nice beach, sipping a pina colada. And well, I'd hope I wouldn't get any work calls while I'm doing that, but I could still take calls from my Birmingham number sitting over there. Oh, cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Excellent. So James could be sitting like on a nice little island as well. And if he gets a call through that's actually meant for me, he can transfer that easily through the app to me sitting in London.
Sounds perfect. Well, gosh, who wants that then? I know I will.
Mm-hmm.
So right. Okay. So this is another one I get asked a lot as well. It's finally one. Yeah. So I've heard that with my BT phone systems becoming end of life. Is BT are on the phone continuously trying to upgrade me. Is this true? Or is it just a bit of a myth?
No, so there is such thing as an ISDN switch off, which is looking to sort of roll out from around 2023, I believe. James might need to correct me on that, but it's sort of used a forced migration between April and December 2025 as well. But we urge our customers to move over to a hosted solution system, whether that be Horizon Premium or SIP trunks, and that sort of ensures that they're ahead of the game, so that when it does come to the ISDN switch off, where all the analog lines will be obsolete, then they're ahead of the game, and they're on our future, I would say, futuristic product, as some would like to see it.
Okay, well, so they're not telling porkies, but if BT are on the phone talking to you, then you should be talking to us as well.
Absolutely.
Compare apples for apples. If they let them do a quote, and then let us quote you as well alongside it, is what I say. So James, good question for you now. So if I change my telephone provider, am I going to lose my telephone number? Is it, or
say that one again. Sorry, Chris.
Sorry, if people are changing telephone providers, they always usually get quite concerned about their phone number, and they're worried about losing it. I mean, is this something that could happen?
Yeah. Well, it used to be quite a big thing. There's two ways that you're looking at it now. Is that if you're moving from a fixed line service across to another fixed line service, so if you're moving from ISDN, which most businesses used to be on, and you're just transferring that over, then there was no risk. Obviously, when you're moving to hosted, you're moving things into the cloud, so there is a period of time where that number needs to make that transition from a physical service into a digital service. At the beginning of hosted, 7 years ago now, there was this period of numbers going missing, but they've now really fine-ited it to it not really happening. You're talking maybe 1 in 100 numbers, and even when that does happen, you're still able to relocate that number and get it back. So yeah, normally when you're moving to the cloud, it takes 5 to 15 working days to get your number transferred over, and during that time you're experiencing maybe an hour downtime as a number makes that transition. Okay,
brilliant. Okay, so that should give people a bit of peace of mind that it's no longer an issue.
Yeah.
So, what else have we got? Let's have a look. So another one I get asked is, I want to change telephone providers, but I've just finished paying for my handsets for the past 3 years. Can I take the handsets with me to my new provider? Are they transferable?
Yeah, it very much depends on the system you have. and obviously your supplier as well. Some people have their handsets locked down for security purposes and don't really ever tend to open those up. But obviously, if you're moving from one provider and you're looking to move to another that can offer the same system and solutions, and yes, you can move them over quite straightforwardly. It really depends on the type of system you're looking at these days. There are loads out there. There's loads of different handsets. I believe there's around 500 different types of manufacturers out there now. So it really comes down to the platform that you're using and if it has the compatibility to work with them.
So, well, let's say, for example, I mean, one of our flagship products that we sell for voice over internet is Horizon. So if one
Correct.
provider sells Horizon and somebody else sells Horizon, I'd imagine that's quite a seamless transfer to move between providers, is it?
That's right. Yeah, exactly. You know, the Horizon product focuses on the Polycom handsets and the Cisco and the Yealink. And obviously, if you're looking to move from one provider to another provider for commercial and support purposes, then it's very easy to move that account over. However, if you had, say, a Toshiba system and you wanted to move to hosted, you wouldn't be able to because those systems are quite obsolete. They're quite legacy now, and therefore, you know, you'd need to get yourself upgraded. But there's also massive amounts of benefit when you are doing that upgrading. You know, when you've had handsets for 3 years, they can necessarily, you know, not be able to support the most latest features. And that will obviously open up that door for you to get yourself on a new system that is flexible and self-upgrading like the Horizon platform is.
Yeah, and I think it's true, isn't it, as well, if you sign up a 3-year contract with Horizon, aren't the handsets included as part of the deal anyway?
That's right. Yeah, you get bundled in. You know, I think with hosted these days, there's 2 routes you can go down. One which is fully cloud hosted, works like a Netflix subscription on a per user basis. So if you've got 10 phones, you need 10 subscription licenses. And then you've got SIP as well, which runs over, you know, your traditional phone system PBXs like an Avaya system or a Mitel or a Siemens. And, you know, that's based in your office and it enables you to work in a different manner.
Yes, obviously you're subject to compatibility of the PBX and surveying and checking it all out and stuff. So, okay,
yeah, exactly.
cool.
If you got a Mitel system today, and you know, and you want to move to an Avaya one, you need to get yourself new hardware. And that's the way the market goes.
Okay, cool. Thanks so much. So, next question I will throw at Zoe. I've heard that VoIP, from what we've just been talking about now, is the perfect solution for a multi-site company. So I've got multiple locations. Can you give me some of the benefits that this will bring the customer? Just like a small handful.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a wide range of features that are enabled on our hosted products. So for example, we can apply hunt groups to the devices and onto the system so that if you have multiple departments or sites that you wish to put certain users on, we can put them into the hunt group so that anytime somebody calls through a certain extension or a number, it can ring out to all of the phones or certain specific phones that are set up in that hunt group. This can also be done from a portal, which is a great little tool to have if you are a multi-site company, because you would be able to manage from the portal all of your staff from there and also the hunt groups on there as well. We also can provide with auto attendance leading on from that, which will lead eventually to the hunt groups, so that when you do call in, we can set up a system that is an auto attendant to dial in for 1 for sales, 2 for tech support, and so on. We also have some call reporting tools as well, which can enable you to see all of the staff in your company, see when they're on the phone, when they're off the phone, if they're in a meeting, how long they've been on the phone for, and how many calls that they've taken that time. That's on a great call reporting tool called a Kixie there. And yeah, we've had a few people inquire about it, especially with people working from home, where they're able to see if their staff are sort of messing about or if they're actually making calls while they're working from home.
That's brilliant. Excellent. Well, I mean, I know there's loads more to voice over internet than that. I mean, that's
right.
just a small snapshot as to some of the functionality that's there, and I know that it's really good value for money. We're starting to reach the end of our time this morning now, so I just need to ask one last question I've got asked. I don't know if this is a James question or a Zoe question, but they've got tons of mobiles on their fleet, and they want to be able to manage them better so they can see kind of what data is being used across the handsets, or literally just kind of some kind of management tool so they can see kind of what's going on across the fleet. Is that something which you can provide?
Yeah, definitely. I think mobiles is obviously quite a complex thing when people request this type of data. It's becoming more, if you've got a large mobile fleet, is that you want to know who's using what and when, so you can really dive into that analytics. We're fortunate enough to have built our own billing platform, which gives us the ability to find out the type of detail that customers want. So yeah, most suppliers these days give you a portal access to it. We're very much more enabled to kind of go, tell us the type of reporting you want, and then we can really drive into the further details of going, right, this is what it is. We'll create you that type of reporting process and give you the platform so you can see that. We've got customers that we manage that have such detailed analytical reports, so they have access over the 10,000, 20,000 types of fleets that are out there. So
wow.
Short answer, yes, it is possible out there, and at the same time, being able to build the types of bundles that people want now with shared data, individual data, or blended is quite an important thing as well.
Brilliant. Okay, thanks so much for that, James. Really good, and thank you to both of you. I've reached the end of my call now, so you can kind of breathe again and go and have a cup of coffee. It's been really helpful to get that information for my benefit as well, and I'm sure anybody else who follows this video afterwards will also learn by it as well. So yeah, really good insights as to kind of what's going on, common questions that people get asked. So thanks very much both for joining me on the call today.
No worries. Thank you.
So yeah, I mean, as I said in the beginning of the call, this is called Ask the Expert. I'm going to be running it every week, somewhere between 11 and 12 o'clock. If you want to join me on the call and you want to get some publicity, or you want to be able to promote your brand, or you want to share some information with us, then please do reach out to me via LinkedIn, via Facebook, via text, via WhatsApp. There's so many different methods these days, isn't there, where we can kind of call. So yeah, please do get in touch, and we will do what we can to get you in our next call. Thank you ever so much.
Brilliant.